brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
A beautiful morning indeed. Ooh. Mornings at the Cabin indeed as well. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford and the year-end event. Come on in for the best deals of the year. Aurora Ford driving the north. Wheeler and Lecter with you. It is minus 37 in the studio. It's not minus 37 in the studio. The heat seems to be working, but it is minus 37 outside. That's ambient for all you wind chill naysayers who say that's not a real temperature. Go stand outside naked in the middle of a lake.
Would you stop giving those people airtime?
I'm sorry, you bunch of quackers. You're up there with anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers. Sorry. No, you're not. I'm just teasing. It's just the cold. It gets to you.
They're super spreading this nonsense, this
That's right.
notion.
Yeah, quit coughing your
matter.
nonsense all over the place.
God.
You bunch of sneezers. No, I'm not over it yet, but I'm getting there. When it's this cold for, like, even a few days, it's like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at least cozy in here now.
Well, because right now, like, okay, so there's some weather stripping around the back door. So on the house we rent, they put an addition on it, right? It doesn't have a foundation, so it's on the ground. Right. And it's kind of modular, so, like, it was put on fine, but there's some leaky places. Like, just like if you were living in a modular house or a trailer, there's always some places that leak because there's some joints that are kind of spread apart or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a nice little cold spot in the middle of the house, right next to the kitchen. So it's just, when it's like that, when it's cold outside and then it's a little chilly inside, it's like, okay, this is enough. We cannot be at minus 37 anymore. That would be great. You know?
That's the cold room. Contains all the cold so the rest of the house can be warm.
Well, it's great for the dog.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Bo in Cambridge Bay. Bo Wellenius? Walnius, maybe? Walnius. We'll say Walnius.
Okay.
Has become a folk hero.
Just Bo.
Bo.
Yeah.
Bo knows folk.
Bo knows.
Bo has become a folk hero in the last couple of days. We talked about this, I think, on Tuesday. He put up a sign on Monday that said, due to continued rudeness by some people, I quit. Have fun trying to get your parcels. I love that part. I love the end part where he's like, have fun, you bunch of jerks. And walked off the job at the Cambridge Bay Canada Post site.
A literary middle finger.
That's right. CBC, pardon me, I'm having issues.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. CBC North had the story, and what we didn't realize is that he and his coworker resigned last week.
Oh, okay.
Coworker apparently remaining anonymous. People in Cambridge Bay probably know who it is.
I hope his name is Joe.
Bo and Joe. But that would be the best. Have fun trying to get your parcels. Bo and Joe. So they both quit. And, I mean, a lot of people really, really supporting Bo, which is great. We totally support Bo. Obviously, we don't know all the ins and outs. But
we don't know Bo.
We don't know Bo. But from this context, rude people being accused of racism, being accused of theft, being accused of all these things, that would make a person want to quit their job. And I think anytime someone kind of quits their job in an epic way, most of us are kind of like, yeah, stick it to the man, or whatever. Because a lot of people...
We've all got that little anti-establishment nugget deep inside of us.
A little bit, and all of us have a little bit, part of us is like, am I doing what I really want to be doing?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Am I like...
Should I just leave Should I
just throw caution to the wind? That's what I used to think, caution.
Go sit at home for a few weeks and then figure it out after that.
Figure it out after that. So, yeah, this story has gained a little bit of steam since this story popped down. But, I mean, yeah, kind of across the country, Bo's been kind of lauded as this folk hero. I really hope we don't find out in a month that Bo was actually stealing packages and is actually a racist. That would be a shame.
Well, we'll totally change direction.
Of course we will.
Yeah.
Of course we will. With new information comes new perspective, right? We can't
and new responsibility.
We can't just be Trump supporters.
Well,
just like any new information that comes in is like, that's all fake. He totally won. Sorry. That's just the way the world sees you. So, finally got some quotes from Bo other than the signage. And he said, he just said basically, I've been accused of stealing people's mail, withholding people's mail. Both of those are literally federal offenses. I could face 10 years for those. I was accused of being a racist because somebody wanted a parcel and the parcel wasn't in. I was called an effing kablunak. My pronunciation is terrible.
I don't know.
Basically, it just means white person.
Okay.
Because I apparently took their job. being cursed because I'm the white guy who's working away, ... How is that my fault? Yeah. And they're Canada Post apparently working on an interim solution. The post office remained closed on Tuesday. I don't know word from Wednesday, but maybe they flew somebody in or something like that. But listen, not only is it Christmas, which is the busiest time of the year, right? This is the busiest time of the year for parcels.
Yeah.
Not only is it that, it's also a pandemic.
Yeah.
So we have to be a little bit more, forgiving. And I feel like people are starting to run out of that. Remember, we've talked about this at the beginning of the pandemic. Everyone's like, hey, let's all drive by each other's house and honk and throw teddy bears at each other and all this other stuff. And it was all real nice. And now we're hitting into December. We're in the dog days of pandemic. And people are just like, you know what? I'm back to normal. Why isn't everybody else?
We really all were in it together in from mid-March to late April. And then we kind of, some people started to get sick of it. Actually, you know what? No, we weren't all in it together at any point because there were the panic buyers. They were not in it with the rest of us.
No, they were not. And I mean, and there's understanding on all of these things. Like there's a reason why people do these things. And selfishness, when it comes to hoarding, selfishness is part of it, but also just fear and not really knowing what to do.
Right.
A whole new situation, not knowing what to do.
And then you take it to the next level and try to sell those panic buys off.
Well, those people are pieces of garbage.
Price.
Those people are garbage. Sorry. You don't panic buy and then, I guess I don't need all this stuff. I'll try to sell it at a markup.
Right.
By the way, it's already marked up in the grocery store. So those people are garbage, but at the same time, can still understand those people, right?
Yes.
Because all they're doing is taking advantage of opportunity. And what have you been taught your entire life? Supply and demand. So if I got the supply and the demand is there, I'm allowed to charge whatever hell I want. It's humanity's worst idea. One of them, anyway. So Cambridge Bay Mayor Pamela Gross told CBC that she was expecting Canada Post to announce a temporary replacement who would resume some limited services. So it doesn't sound like it's going to get any easier at Cambridge Bay.
No.
And a new person would likely not be hired until the new year, says Canada Post.
Right.
So a full-time replacement. They can't fly in their best. Like Canada Post doesn't have a reserve of people who are like, hey, listen, Cambridge Bay's down. Get in there.
We're bringing in the heavies.
We're bringing in the heavy. Yeah. Because you'd have to isolate for 2 weeks as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Unless they've got a real reserve where it's just we're essential workers. We're all decontaminated. We're vaccinated. We're all this, and they just send them out to far-flung reaches of Canada to fix these post offices.
Just get the mayor in there. What's more important right now than making sure people get their mail on
There's
time?
A movie in there somewhere. There's a Hallmark movie in all of this.
The whole community bands together.
Small town Canada Post shuts down, and a person from the big city comes in, not looking for romance.
Right.
Just looking to do their job. Falls in love with Bo, who's a blue-collar hero. And there it is.
And Bo believes in the spirit of Christmas.
Bo believes in the spirit of Christmas. And he was just so brought down by people's negative attitude that, and then Santa shows up or something.
More realistically, though, I have to assume that, just the way that the world is going with automation, every year becoming more and more the norm, I have to assume that Canada Post is well on their way to developing some kind of Bobot to take over.
That'd be amazing. The first robot parcel taker or parcel person is going to be maybe likely based on someone. Why not Bo?
Why not Bo?
With a little setting that says, hey, I'm not going to put up with that. Or something like that. That was my robot voice. Hi there.
You don't have to be rude.
Why was I programmed to feel pain?
We're all waiting for parcels, ma'am. It's a busy time of year.
I can literally not be racist.
Yeah, you can't accuse Bobot of racism.
That's right. Well, unless it's been programmed into him by some racist programmer. Bo, we feel for you and your coworker. It's a crazy stressful time of the year, and we all just need to be a little bit more calm with retail people, with Canada Post people, with servers as well. I'll be really happy if I don't see any rants about waiters over the Christmas break. That'd be nice.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Joined by Sibs, Sarah Sibley. You know what? For a second there, I took a pause because I forgot your actual name. Because it's just Sibs or Sibley or Sibba at this point. Sarah Sibley, star of the hottest video, making the rounds around Yellowknife this morning. You and Brackenberry doing a little video for Cabin Radio called "It's Not Cold, Buddy."
It's not even cold.
It's not even cold. Super adorable. You guys are a couple of dorks, which is very funny. And that's what I was laughing. I was like, oh my God, this is so dorky. I love it. And that's exactly the message I sent to everybody else on our shared messenger. Yeah, very funny.
It was all improv.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems so tightly scripted.
Aw, thank you.
I mean, so we talked about it yesterday morning, and basically the idea was to do some of the stuff in the absence of tourism.
Yes.
Here in Yellowknife.
Do what the tourists do.
Yeah, we usually get to see, tourists just organically doing tourist stuff. We don't get that this year because 2020 sucks. So, Brack and Sibs took it over. Did some of the typical tourist stuff, some of the cold weather. This is crazy. You don't see this anywhere else type of stuff.
Yes.
And it was friggin' adorable.
It was.
So we got the video on the Cabin Radio Facebook page. It was you did the snowsuit competition.
Yes.
Who won that?
Megan beat me by miles.
Yeah.
I knocked off my hat in the middle of it. It was a big mess. It took me like 2 minutes just to do up my zipper because I couldn't see over my scarf. It was just a whole debacle.
Okay, so then you hit the road and you did the ramen noodle.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's become very famous around here.
How long did it take for the noodles to freeze?
So we actually messed it up at first. So we kind of like poured all the water out, and then we're like, oh wait, no, we need the water.
That's what freezes.
Yeah, we're like, we need the water in it to freeze it. So our noodles froze, but then we were kind of just holding them, and we're like, well, what do we do?
Right.
So then we had to go, come back, pour more hot water in them to kind of get them all soft again, and then put them back outside.
It's a complicated experiment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We actually kind of left them in a snowbank. And then we went to go film other stuff. So I think it took probably about 5 or 6 minutes. But we were really afraid the ravens were going to come and steal our noodles. And we're like, that would be a heck of an addition to the video if we come back to get our frozen noodles and they're all gone. But yeah, it didn't take long at all. And our eyelashes were frozen, our faces were frozen, our hair was frozen.
It was cold.
Yeah.
It's minus 37 right now.
Yeah.
It was minus 37 yesterday. Now, you stood in front of the sign, which is another tourist thing, another tourist attraction.
Yeah.
A lot of tourists stand in front of that. Can you believe it? That sign was wrong. Minus 34. It was minus 37 yesterday during that time.
I don't know if you know this, Sibs, but there was actually a story about that sign because there were tourists that were feeling cheated.
Yeah.
Out of the fact that it was actually, minus 38 or minus 39, and the sign would say, minus 34.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, no, that's not, no. And they were missing out on likes on Instagram.
Yeah.
It was a whole big issue.
It's the stamp of approval.
That's
the colder it is, the more likes you get.
Legitimacy.
Isn't the sign run by one guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, he sympathized.
Yeah.
He didn't make any changes to it.
No. I mean, he was trying. I can't remember that guy's name, but he was a fun interview.
Yeah.
He said something like, that sign, it's just the darndest thing. I've been trying to get it fixed, and I know it's upsetting people. He definitely did sympathize.
Yeah.
And,
put it at minus 40 even when it's minus 10. That way people can get their pictures done. If you want that story, go to cabradio.ca and search sign. But you guys did a fantastic job on the video. One of the quotes that is standing out, and apparently people are messaging Brax about this, is she tosses away the tea. You're like, you screwed up my tea. And really leaning into that Ontario accent. And you guys, toss the noodles. You tossed the noodles away. Good riddance to that. That was friggin' gross. Fantastic.
It was very funny.
Really leaning into that Ontario accent for sure. Little Ajax accent.
And now imagine if that was scripted. That wouldn't have happened.
That's right.
Oh,
that's
there
right.
It is. I found the story.
Okay.
Yellowknife electronic sign says it's not that cold. Get a grip.
It's not that cold.
It's not that cold at all.
So last year there were tourists that were noticing the sign, and it was minus 37 in vehicle dashboards, and the sign defiantly proclaimed minus 31 degrees Celsius.
How dare it?
Yeah.
Brian Mall is the guy who is in control of the sign, programs it. said, quote, "We're hovering in the minus 30s, right? It seems like it's warmer by the sign than it really is. The sign has a temperature sensor just like a vehicle dashboard, but it's difficult to adjust." So that was the reasoning as to why the sign was showing the wrong temperature.
Yeah.
He said, like everything in this world, it's an old sign.
Like everything in this world is old.
It gets old and it breaks down.
Fair enough.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. It's slightly warmer on the inside of the sign than it is on the outside.
Yeah. This sign, quote, "Whatever came with it when it was purchased is long gone. I had to find an owner's manual on the internet, but I found one, and now I can get at it." But apparently,
has not gotten at it.
Still adjustments to be made.
Not all heroes wear capes.
That's right. Some adjust signs. Check out the video on cabinradio.ca. It's also up on our Facebook page. It's adorable and is sure to putting a smile to your face to watch two young Southerners deal with the cold.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Mornings at the Cabin, Pilk Silk, Carol of the Bells, send off MATC hour number 1. MATC hour number 2 starts right now. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Mornings at the Cabin, brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the North, and the year-end sales events. 2020s are great deals right now.
Speaking of Pilk Silk,
yeah.
Got a message from Jay Bear, of course, host of Out of the Bear Cave. Brings you new music on Cabin Radio every Tuesday night from 6 to 7.
Very good.
And then sometimes a bonus new music hour from 7 to 8. He sent me a message yesterday letting me know that Pilk Silk had made CBC's Top 100 of 2020.
Absolutely. Top 100 songs or Top 100 acts? I saw them post it, and I didn't click on it.
Top 100 Canadian songs of 2020.
Wonderful. Congratulations to Pilk Silk.
Yeah.
Always good to see local stuff up there on the board. I love it.
Trying to find where they slotted it. Oh, they slotted it in 95 with Arctic Hollows.
Very nice.
Maybe another entry in there, but you don't have time for me to read all that.
I'll read them all.
Well, at number 100,
100,
The Social by DJ Shub featuring Phoenix Pagliacci.
Oh, DJ
Pagliacci?
Pagliacci.
I don't know. Lavender, Ashley Ball, 99. That's a good tune.
Very nice. Very nice.
A little Hoxley in there.
DJ Shub.
Man, we got a lot of good artists.
Yeah, man. Well, we were just talking about CanCon, and CanCon's never been better than it is right now. There's just so much variety, and there's so much being produced. I have the hiccups.
Oh.
I'm a professional. No. I'm a professional that talks, and I have hiccups.
Did you drink your coffee too fast?
I ate my breakfast farmer's wrap maybe too quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to shove it in your mouth before you get back on the mic.
You do.
So, what were you talking about?
Well, I was just talking about Pilk Silk.
Canadian content.
Actually, friend of the cabin, not from the territory, but from
William Prince,
my territory.
Yes, right.
William Prince. Yeah, he's the cover artist on Spotify's Best of Folk.
He is
2020.
Absolutely,
which is very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
William Prince still just crushing it with our hat on. So we fully support that. I think we need to send him another hat. Probably. He's probably lost the 3 we sent him.
You think so?
Oh, probably.
I don't know. This one has initials on it. It was
that's right.
A special edition.
And we probably would have heard from his people had he lost.
And we told him to be responsible with this one.
That's right. And we're nothing if not scary people.
That's right.
Tell people what to do. But we were talking about Canadian content and how much easier it is to fill that Canadian content quota. If for those of you who don't know, you need 35% per hour according to the CRTC, right?
We've committed to 40.
We've committed to 40. And you know what? I bet you didn't even notice. There are other times. I mean, you've listened to Canadian content on other stations, and like it just kind of keeps repeating the same songs. But we've got such a variety, and because we're able to play all that variety, you get a lot of different Canadian content, which is awesome. And you'll get a lot of local content, too, because you've got things like One North Recordings, bringing up artists that are in town you probably never even heard of. And we'll hear more from them very soon. I'm sure they're releasing stuff from like Crook the Kid and other artists that have been kind of like just laying in the cut, not really doing much, but are starting to kind of come into their own now.
Well, and just looking down this CBC Top 100 list, there's a fair number of these names that we play regularly in rotation on Cabin Radio here. So that's good to know.
That's good to know. We're on the pulse.
That's right.
I mean, J Bear helps keep us on the pulse. Listen to the J Bear Tuesdays for new music, 6 to 7, and sometimes that bonus hour from 7 to 8. Love it. Jay's got his finger on the pulse for sure.
Absolutely.
So we love playing Canadian content and are always taking in, requests from emails and stuff like that. Listen, I'm dropping a new album. You want to play this? And sometimes we will. And I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes we will not, because sometimes you get sent some stuff that's not that great.
Well,
And you know what? It's not that it's and that's not an insult. It's people that are like sending their stuff out and like putting it out there. So good for you for putting it out there. Keep putting it out there.
Yeah.
Keep
absolutely.
doing it.
I mean,
just because we don't play it doesn't mean that's the end of the road.
Well, and just because, we
also can't play everything.
Just because we don't feel like it's going to be, the general population's bread and butter doesn't mean it's not yours. Like, that's the cool thing about music.
And that's all we're trying to do. Is just to satisfy the general population
and butter your bread.
A little bit.
What?
What?
You prefer margarine?
I'd prefer an oil-based spread, please.
Yes. Okay.
No, margarine, that's disgusting.
Coconut oil?
I mean, coconut oil is great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good replacement.
A little salt.
Speaking of brand new music from right here in Yellowknife, produced locally, Ryan McCord actually just dropped by the cabin yesterday to drop off a special advanced vinyl edition of his brand new album. I think it's called From the Rail Yard to the Wood Yard.
I think so, yeah.
It's very cool. It's sitting in Studio 2 right now.
Should we tell people that we don't have a record player?
No.
Okay, great.
I want people to keep dropping off vinyl.
I know. Vinyl is gorgeous.
We have a record player. We use it every day. Every song that you hear
is played on a record.
And
we load them up one by one physically.
That's right.
What you can get, though, what we should get, if we're getting this vinyl, we can get vinyl to MP3, right? Like you put it on the vinyl and you put it on a stick and there it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard with most.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone who releases anything on vinyl, there's always a digital.
No, I know, but you can
copy.
transpose from vinyl to digital.
Yeah, you can do that too. It's not quite as. Well, I mean, it probably is pretty easy with any turntable you buy nowadays.
You find a problem for every solution.
I do. Don't I?
You're a negative person.
I'm not as agreeable as you once thought.
You're really coming into your own.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving in the north. Joined by Ollie Williams to do a little winner announcement for D-Lo or no D-Lo. We posted the picture yesterday. Y'all guessed. Most of you got it wrong, I think. Is that what happened?
No, most of got it right.
Oh, fair enough.
Because we were not in D-Lo.
Oh.
No D-Lo.
Well, you just gave it away.
D-Lo.
Well, I did just give it away. That's because it's now the time for the answer. And the answer was no D-Lo.
Fair enough.
We were, in actual fact, in that little park just on Latham Island. We're sitting at a table.
That's right.
And if you look at the very bottom of the image, you can see the blue table, which was giveaway. That's where we are. Now, yesterday in the office, I think people very quickly established that it was no D-Lo. But it took a lot of time to narrow down where exactly we were because those blue tables are in a few different locations.
They are. And I remember it now.
But there you go. We're in that little park on Latham Island, and it was no D-Lo. Now, we had an interesting range of answers. We did have a few people who said D-Lo.
Oh, really?
We had one person who said maybe D-Lo,
which is not how that's Fort Providence.
Wow.
Not how the contest works. No. Can't have maybe D-Lo. It's not one of the options that are allowed. That's called hedging your bets.
I mean, one of these area.
Yeah, one of these pictures we have 1 foot in D-Lo, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
So everybody's right.
Then maybe D-Lo would win.
That could be chaos. There'll be lawsuits. There'll be everything.
Over this week's prize, set of socks from Rasmus Apparel. These are the beaded flower socks.
I love these socks.
I love these socks too. I want a pair of those sweatpants. The beaded flower sweatpants that go all the way down the leg.
Yeah, you keep saying that, and Moose keeps at Erasmus Apparel keeps not biting because they are not coming up as a prize.
That's fair enough, but my birthday's coming up, and I did ask her for those for my birthday. And she sent back a laughy face.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think a laughy face means you're going to get what you asked for.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That is exciting. I mean, those are the hot item. These socks look great though, and to the winner go the socks. So, how many entrants did we have?
We have got 25 correct answers.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right? I know.
Well, maybe if we picked a day.
How many incorrect?
I don't have that number written down.
25 correct.
25 correct. All right, both of you.
That's what I was asking.
Well, that's literally what Lecter just asked.
Is it really?
Don't have that figure.
Well, no, he said how many incorrect.
So if we knew how many incorrect,
so you add
we
those
add
together.
them together.
But then there's that maybe D'Lo that just
That's right.
everything.
So there's one of those. Yeah.
Okay.
There's
All
a
right.
bunch of people who don't understand how the game works.
Becoming more contentious than the U.S. election.
Someone spoiled their vote.
Yeah.
So if we could just briefly stop the steal.
So we're not in D'Lo. So I'm going to vote D'Lo. D'Lo wins.
I mean, that's a strategy. I mean, if everyone else is voting one thing and you think, well, there's a chance they might be wrong.
That's
then
right.
you put yourself in a very
really
small pool of potential winners.
Okay, so 25 people got this right.
Here we go.
Lecter, please eliminate one of them.
All right. Get rid of lucky number 7.
Vanessa Sangris, ta-ra, see you later.
Sorry,
Thanks for
Vanessa.
coming. It won't be you this week. I do apologize. Such a mean contest this. I love it. Wheeler, please delete someone from our aspirations.
21.
Goodbye, Martina Chocolate. Sorry about that.
Oh, man.
See you
A
later.
Sangries and a chocolate eliminated?
Thanks for playing.
Oy.
That just means we should pick a winner. Lecter, it's your go this time round.
May as
Deliver
well.
us a number.
Stick to multiples of 7 and go with 14.
Mm-hmm.
Betty Hardesty! Today is the day!
All right.
Betty Hardesty is your winner. You get a pair of Erasmus Apparel socks. The socks are waiting for you right now. They are itching to get on your feet. They're probably not that itchy.
Oh.
Go down to Erasmus Apparel and claim them from Sarah Erasmus. Thank you for playing, and we will be back next week with one final pre-Christmas D'Lo or no D'Lo.
Oh,
Beautiful.
man. All right. D'Lo or no D'Lo brought to you by Erasmus Apparel, EA all day. Check out their store hours and head on down there if you'd like to shop local. They've got a lot of great stuff, including those granny sweatpants, which I am absolutely in love with.
Granny sweatpants.
Well, that's what she's calling them.
Oh, is she?
Because they got the beaded flowers all the way down.
I
They call them
see.
granny sweatpants. I mean, that's
Okay.
what she calls them in the post. I don't know if that's what they're really called.
Gotcha.
But I love them.
I thought
And they've
you
even
were
got
just calling them that.
Yeah. Well, and they're cinched at the bottom. They're old school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are super comfy. The one thing...
Oh, they are they?
with
Do you
the
have a
first
pair?
batch- I've had a pair for months.
Are you...
And- And the first batch that they had, there's a tag sewn in the back. It's just a little bit itchy, It just sort of just grates on the on the spine, just
on the spine.
But
Right.
I think
that's where I wear my pants.
I think now she's realised that, and that's been tweaked. So now they're just the perfect pair of pants. Yeah,
Oh, very
Beautiful.
nice.
I think honestly, if anyone could be bothered to get them for you, which 50-50, then you'll love them. You'll love them.
Yeah.
All right.
I want them, and I'm not going down there myself. No, I might actually. I still have to do a few stocking stuffers, so I should head on down there and get
Put some stockings in the stocking.
There you go.
There you go.
Absolutely. All right. Another episode of D'Lo or No D'Lo done. We'll be back next week with a pre-Christmas prize. It's just that easy. Guess D'Lo or No D'Lo. That's going to do it for Mornings at the Cabin for today. Wrap up warm. The computer has decided not to tell us the temperature anymore because it's too damn cold. It was minus 37 last I looked. Wrap up warm. Don't forget to plug in your vehicles when it's this cold, please. And if your vehicle doesn't start on the first try, doesn't turn over on the first try, try not to do it again. Depending on your truck or your engine, you could flood it, and that's just going to end up costing you some money. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.